Today on the Tech Destination Pakistan podcast, we have a very special guest, Mr. Hisham Sarwar, who is, if you've been in the US, you know Jim Rohn, you know Tony Robbins, you know Brian Tracy, these gurus of the knowledge economy. He is all those plus more, as he's helped millions of people follow his teachings and help them create wealth for themselves. So he's helped people start as a online in the freelancing world, and he's helped make them make their own living. So I'm very excited to host him today at Tech Destination Pakistan podcast, and we're going to hear about his backstory, how he started in freelancing, how he's gone on to work in the corporate sector as well, and how he made that transition, and how he got into motivating people and changing their lives too. So, thank you for being on. And le- let's just start with your backstory. How did you get started as a freelancer? Is that your first job or?
Uh, as a freelancer, yes, that's how it all started. It was my first job as a backbencher who was not good at academics. I used to create good, decent sketches of my teachers, to the point that a few of my sketches were actually framed and given to them as a gift, which later on got to know that they were hanged in their living rooms. That's how uh, close to the real reality I used to get to when I was creating sketches. When I say I used to get to, I'm not hands down anymore. It's been years. I haven't tried my pencil sketching. Actually, not years, but decades. So, a friend of mine told me that as a graphic artist, I can translate my designing spree to online graphic designing. I came across a few marketplaces back then, elance.com, itmoonlighter.com, and there was another one, if my memory serves me well, rentacoder.com. They were very popular freelance marketplaces. Upwork, guru.com, freelancer.com were not born then. So I tried my luck on a few of these freelance marketplaces and started getting projects and started making money. So I never looked back. Freelancing has always been an appetite years after years.
What year was this that you got started?
1997.
1997.
Long
Wow.
time ago.
You're the original gangster then.
Absolutely, by all means and true spirits, the original gangster.
Wow. So
Here
you,
comes the hot stopper.
so how did you get your first client? Do you remember that? The first check?
Vividly, Amir, as it happened yesterday. Vividly. I have won over like 2,800 contracts on Guru.com alone. I do not remember except three or four. And the first ones are always special. I mean, everything that comes first in your life is always a special thing. So the client name was John Jana. He was a private business, and he got a contract of U.S. Marshal, and the assignment was to create their print collateral. And in that print collateral, they wanted a logo designed for U.S. Marshal, sort of like a county, if my memory serves me well. He is from New Jersey, and then that's where I was approached on itmoonlighter.com. Later on, itmoonlighter uh, became guru.com when it was acquired, and the amount of the contract was $55 for logo designing, and later on he paid me additional $150, making it an accumulated $200. $50 for logo designing, $150 for animating it. So I gave a spin to the logo so that he could put that on MySpace, which was a popular social media platform. Facebook was not born, and I think he had this displayed on his website as well.
Wow, excellent. So that's great to hear. And I always like hearing people's first dollar and how they earned it. So then, how did you get into teaching others about freelancing? Is this a long journey? Because 1997 to when YouTube started, is that when you started getting these millions of followers that you have now?
Getting on YouTube was like few years back. It was in 2019.
Yeah.
My training career, actually, I came across my training side of me through an accident. I had a dip in my career, professional career. Owned a software house, had 40 plus people working for the organization as my colleagues, and it was going all well. But somehow, like Nokia, somehow like Kodak, we did not see tomorrow. So we were into Drupal for off-the-shelf content management system. Little did we realize that WordPress is knocking at the door, far more robust, far more cheaper. Not saying that you can compare Drupal with WordPress, but the demand for Drupal on freelance marketplaces took a huge dip, and the popularity of WordPress surged, in a month's time. I could not see this happening. I did not upgrade myself or my team, only to find out that we went into a deep hole, and it took a lot of maneuvering and restructuring of organization to come back. And in the process of discovering what went wrong, I accidentally discovered myself, Amir. I discovered that I'm good at teaching. I discovered that by helping others, uh, you rise, and we rise by lifting others, as they say. I started teaching freelancing, I started teaching graphic designing, I started teaching web development, I started teaching digital marketing. I'm a digital marketer now. Took a transition shift a few years back, uh, uh, just before COVID. I learned digital marketing on Udemy, and then started practicing digital marketing, because there's a good amount of money for digital marketers, and digital marketers are the new millionaires. Every new tech innovation requires marketing. And if you know how to disseminate product or service effectively without breaking your bank on the internet, I think you're a good digital marketer. I thought about what went wrong in my career besides not upgrading myself. The one of the soul searching moment was I had a conversation with my mother, and she said, the best way of growing is to let others grow. That's how the cosmic connections work. That's how the whole universe works. I started teaching for free. I started teaching freelancing initially, then went down niche specific, uh, graphic designing, digital marketing, so on and so forth. I've not charged a single penny since 2016. That's where it all started, and rest is history.
So, did you start teaching online or in classrooms?
I started conducting live sessions on Facebook.
Okay.
Classroom is, I've never gone to the classroom, by the
Mhm.
way. And even though I plan to conduct small cohorts,
Mm.
which are physical on premises cohort, but I'm more comfortable in, staying behind the camera and spreading the word on social media.
And I was one of your students because I was living in London, and I was watching your videos, and they're in Urdu primarily, and I was able to benefit because I was getting this latest knowledge in internet marketing and all these strategies from sitting in London. How much of your audience is international? How much are they Pakistani diaspora? How much are Indian? What do you have any ideas of that?
So YouTube and Facebook gives you demographics, and on YouTube, it's like a split of 60 to 40. 60% is the audience watching from Pakistan. That's where the freelancers are, and the youth follows me for internet earning opportunities. Um, 40% is actually divided into three countries, and then of course the smaller countries as well. The biggest is India. Second is a lot of Ireland, Irish, Dublin based viewers coming on my English YouTube channel. And on Urdu, primarily it's UAE, Saudi, India, Bangladesh, Afghanistan. That's where the traffic is coming outside Pakistan. But 65% is from Pakistan.
And I see you're quite a technical person even still, because you're building your own apps using AI already. Uh, I've seen the apps that you built, and I was mesmerized by what you've already done. Can you tell us about your transition into AI now as well?
Absolutely. You are the first one who has asked this question. I've stopped giving interviews, I've stopped appearing in TV shows. So you're the very first one who has noticed this and has asked this question. This is my third career shift, starting as a freelance graphic designer, and then a transition shift as a digital marketer, and now as a vibe coder, AI enthusiastic. Before I get to this point, brain is like a brain is just another muscle. If you do not use it, it sorts of like getting weaker and weaker. I, as a mentor and as a coach, understand the importance of staying active. More active you are, not physically. My waist would not define the true definition I mean by activeness, but the brain certainly does. And I keep teaching myself about what is emerging and trending on social media. Uh, I came across this big news when ChatGPT surfaced up in late 2022, early 2023. And ever since, I've been early adapter of agentic AI and started learning, bought a lot of books, bought a lot of Kindle online audiobooks, started, training myself about this new world order, which the AI is gonna press upon. And I realized that despite the fact that I'm not a coder, I do not know any uh, thing about programming, vibe coding, which means no code. There are so many AI agents out there that allow you to unleash your true potential, despite of the fact again that you're not a problem solver. You're not good at maths. You're not good at calculus. You do not know Python. You do not know programming. AI allows you to create applications without writing a single line of code. That caught the corner of my eye. There are few websites like Lovable and Cursor.com, and uh, even hosting companies like Hostinger has Horizons, which is AI application and a web builder. Started creating my account. Initially, I tried Replit. By the way, Sundar Pichai, CEO Alphabet, gave an interview a month back. I saw a reel on YouTube. He actually mentioned Replit, and he said that I have created something using vibe coding. I've been using AI agents for creating websites and applications for good on 5 months now, and I've created three state-of-art applications. One is a social media platform. Second is ERP software that is later on, broken into different features such as accounting software, HR software, project management software, and procurement software, and business development software. So a whole ERP software, and then the small portions of it as a separate applications. And then I've created a talent pool as well, which means that all across the country there's a huge gag. Everybody wants to train people. Federal government is doing it. Provincial government is doing it. Private companies are doing it. You are doing a great job in training these folks. How about providing them with opportunities to find work? So I profoundly own a freelance marketplace called workchest.com. You know about this. It has over 200K users, a great marketplace. But then I felt the need of having a talent pool where people belonging to different skill set are allowed to create a profile, create their resume, and that would mean that they are visible on internet and they can get hired for remote as well as gig jobs. So the love for AI grew each day. Then I jumped into mobile app development, having a ball of my life. And it seems like until and unless there's a new innovation pivoting around AI, or God knows if it is something beyond AI, which I think won't be, this is my new career.
Wow. Yeah, I saw what you've developed at your office, and I was really taken back because I was thinking, this guy is, you're all over the place. You're a celebrity. People come, take selfies with you. They want you at their events. And then you have that time to just sit and focus. How do you focus on learning AI or learning being a technical person, as well as being an extrovert, invited to all these events and functions where you have to be the
Factor in
celebrity?
also being a corporate CEO
Yeah.
of such a big organization.
I was going to come to that after is
Okay.
transition into the corporate world. But how do you have that time to focus and sit and learn AI?
You're asking great questions here, and I'm really enjoying this. I think distraction is the fundamental reason why humans do not focus. Energy flows where focus goes. It's a great saying by Tony Robbins. And it means that if you focus on something, energy flows in that direction. Don't stand in the middle on the side of a highway and only focus on car in red. You'll only see car in red. Red cars is all you'll see. That's what the focus is all about. But for you to focus, you've got to remove the distractions. Primarily, the primarily the biggest distractions are actually social media, followed by your company, followed by you not realizing who you potentially can be by not manifesting tomorrow. All of these elements, once combined, uh, can put a precision focused in a unidirection. So I've learned a lot of things from different people. I'm a huge follower of Hollywood and Bollywood movies, and one of my favorite actors is Amir Khan. Another Amir. Seems like Amir are becoming good friends now. And he, in as an actor, as a director, takes a movie in 2 years and only focuses on making that movie perfect, and then he becomes, not only successful but also labeled as Mr. Perfectionist. I'm not perfectionist by any stretch of imagination, but wherever I put my heart into, I ensure that I follow it through thick and thin. That's what the motive is. And I do not let things distract me, even if it is at the cost of my sleep. If I'm passionate and determined to pull off something, I'll leave no stone unturned in ensuring that I get there. So that's sort of like a characteristic trait I've developed over the years.
Excellent. And let's talk about your transition from being a freelancer to being a CEO of Innovista. First of all, what is Innovista? How did you get the corporate gig? How did you go into the corporate world? And what are you guys up to? And you've been there a year, and congratulations, you've
Thank
just
you.
been extended
Thank you.
another year.
It actually happened last Friday where I got the contract, and the tenure is extended, and must have done something to tell the world that the efforts are worth applauding, and hopefully they spread at the higher dimensions in times ahead. So as a as a mentor, as a teacher, as a public figure, I've pulled off a few miraculous events where people poured in numbers. Uh, my last public outing before joining Investa was at Convention Center Islamabad. You'll see that even the stairs are filled in at the convention center. This is something unheard of, unless you're a politician. I'm no politician. I'm no singer. I'm no actor. I'm no celebrity. And for people to show up in such huge numbers speaks volume about their commitment and my efforts as a teacher, as a mentor. I somehow got this opportunity where I was approached to lead these IT hubs all across Pakistan, 8 of them, and the silver lining here was you're doing this in your humble individual capacity, in silos, literally. If we give you a platform where you can uh, literally trifold your efforts and bring more people into the gig economy ecosystem, get more people excited about technology and the trending skills of the modern world, I think Pakistan's economy, will also increase. So economy is dependent on people's financial prosperity. I like the idea. Once it was thrown at me, I really liked the idea. I said I said yes. It was a nod and yes, and a year of reckoning where we have been able to train over 100 k users on our online portal, uh, learning management system called LearnEasy.pk, with over 12,000 certificates distributed in a year's time. Uh, all 8 chapters successfully opened. Freelancers and businesses coming in decent numbers to occupy the spaces, creating indigenous products to uh, help uh, the youth of Pakistan to find freelance work, as well as creating a service portal and creating a software called ERP. The biggest achievement I think of is an online uh, Facebook group that has over 60,000 people. And there's a partner of Innovista. His name is Zafar Iqbal, lives in Canada. Another passionate Pakistani who wants to give back to the community and help lesser privileged. So we joined hands with him, and on Facebook group we have got 45k organically highly engaged viewers coming back every single month out of 60 plus users. 45k actively engaged members of the group says a lot. We are training AI automation, we are training agentic AI, we are training vibe coding. So basically, all those who are not programmers have got an opportunity to learn AI, and if they learn it well, they can offer it as a service to the businesses, and many have already started. So this gives me a lot of satisfaction on it. That in a year's time, I've done some good things. Of course, at the same time, there are things when you reflect back later in the evening when when you look at the mirror before hitting bed, you you think you are falling short of an idea. You could have done it in a better way, but that's a learning curve for you. Nobody is perfect. So I'm learning this corporate world very very quickly. This is something I've never done in my life. This is new, but I like the challenge of contributing to the national economy through uh, these young IT freelance uh, service and product owners who are bringing in the foreign remittance in the country. I think that gives me a lot of satisfaction. I'm just a humble contributor in the whole ecosystem. You guys are the biggest.
Excellent. And in terms of the gig economy, is it growing? Do you think that in 5 years time, or even 3 years time, more and more freelancers will be required in the world? Or do you think that agencies will be it? Or how do you see the world progressing
It's
in
a
the
glass half full, half empty. For the next few years, I see a surge in freelance demand because with AI emergence, new jobs are created, and of course, you need people for a one-off job to finish the task and complete it successfully. I see gig economy growing in coming years. What remains to be seen here is how effectively agentic AI or AI automation takes over. We might just have organizations only run by CEOs and no human staff. This is already beginning to take place in US, and it shows, and with its speed picking up, maybe the rest of the world follows the pattern. And the problem with machines is it eliminates human error. I mean, calling it a problem because it's at the cost of jobs. So it's a silver lining, of course, but again, the real bright side of technology and artificial intelligence is it eliminates the human interaction, which means no error. B, the machine doesn't get tired, the machine doesn't sleep, machine doesn't fall sick. I mean, I'm talking about the programs of machine in that term. So world is changing. Freelancers will be in demand in times to come. What about a decade ahead? Only God knows. I mean, 2 years back, uh, before the before the rise of chat GPTs, we were living a normal life, no? And then it all changed suddenly in with a blink of an eye, and God knows what lies ahead.
And I wanted to ask you about your leadership style and your leadership lessons. You were a freelancer, but it wasn't that you were doing it solo. You had a team as well, right? You grew a team to 40
Absolutely,
people.
absolutely.
You were managing that and the stress of meeting payroll when it's coming out of your own pocket and all these things I'm sure you went through. And then you've now joined the corporate world where at least you're getting your paycheck and you have a team and you have more infrastructure and you're doing things on a, I would say, larger scale that happens when you join the government or the infrastructure things. How do you find leading teams in both those aspects?
A lot of questions in one question, but I'll try to answer them one by one. Uh, Leadership. The difference between a boss and a leader is leader comes on front and shows the way. That's what I've done all my life. I mean, my recent transition into AI, learning AI from uh, from my friend Zafar Iqbal. He has been a huge inspiration, an amazing guy. Uh, I genuinely believe leadership is all about uh, loyalty and competence. So if you are competent enough, people uh, they sort of like get loyal to your cause, and that's where you become a leader. That's a simple track of the leadership. Most importantly, the transition shift from gig economy to to a corporate CEO. Look, it's an honor to serve this organization. I mean, um, I'm in a eve of uh, this responsibility. Uh, I perfectly understand that how huge it is. I perfectly understand uh, its ripple effects in times ahead. I perfectly understand the fallback or the repercussions of my bad decisions. When you are at the helm of affairs, the buck stops at you. But that's what leadership is. You're as big as you challenge yourself. Only if you give up, that's where you feel that you've lost an idea and you're falling short of an idea. I'll make mistakes as a CEO. Everybody does. You're human. What matters the most is how you assess your failures, how you assess your bad decisions, and And at the end of the day, you do not stop taking decisions, because the moment you stop taking decisions, leaders are the forefront runners of a cause. Could be anything, could be a corporate business, could be a government organization, could be anything. uh, you've seen my personal office of my organization, and it's a perfect spitting replica of Oval Office. So I've been inspired by US democracy, since 80s when Reagan was in office. And I'm a humble student of leadership who understands the importance of getting the best out of people. You could have hundreds of people supporting you in a cause, in a mission. At the end of the day, if they are unable to pull off, the miracles, it means you have failed as a leader because you are unable to get the best out of them. So, uh, courage is a touchstone of leadership, and leadership is a consequence of competence. That's how it is. That's what I call leadership.
And I would say that leaders are also great teachers. And you are a teacher at heart. That's your following isn't because you're a musician. Your following isn't because you're an actor. Your following is because you're teaching people skills, right? That's why people follow you. So how do you become a great teacher?
The first thing first is, if you want to teach, start it with the younger ones. If they are able to understand, again, taking a leaf out of uh, big individuals, successful individuals, competent individuals in Silicon Valley. I've been a huge admirer of Warren Buffett. And in one of his interviews with Fox, he says that I write letter to my stakeholders, my shareholders, for Berkshire. That's the organization he owns. I'm writing the letter as if I'm writing a letter to my younger sister in a simple, plain English. In his office, when he gave a tour of his office, while going through the balcony, the corridor, there's only one certificate hanged on the wall, and that is communication skill. So, communication skill is the most important thing for you to be able to convey your point of view across. If I'm able to convey my point of view across effectively, concisely, in a coherent way, I think I've done this purpose. But communication skill also means listening ability. So I started with the younger ones because that's where the real challenge is. Uh, they're not known to the tech world and they're not tech savvy. And if you are able to make them understand, I think you are able to, uh, uh, you know, do it at the mass level. So that's how I learned. And then I practiced a lot. Used to stand in front of mirror, uh, you know, um, doing little play roles. Sometimes I would act as a. No, I hope the memers do not step in. I mean, this is going to get little funny here. Sometimes I would become Tom Cruise, and I would stand at red carpet, cherishing my awards. Sometimes I would become Wasim Akram, who's won a man of the match. Sometimes I would become Roger Federer, who has just won a Grand Slam. So being a sports enthusiastic, uh, you know, uh, individual, uh, that's how I practiced my communication skill. And communication skill also means try to convince others through your selection of words. So it's a vocabulary, an increase in vocabulary that matters.
So what you say when you say it.
What you say when you say it. That's how it is. So what you say when you say it is summarize, begin by keeping the end in mind. That's how you summarize, everything.
Excellent. And what do you think is the future of tech and Pakistan? How are we going as a country? What should others look at in terms of investing in the country? Is it a good investment? What do you think about tech and investment and Pakistan?
So when we talk about tech, look, we had few outspread booms in tech uh, history. It all started with the dot-com boom for the internet, particularly in the late 90s, and those who leveraged and took the advantage of that boom, they become millionaires. Tech has created more first generation millionaires than any other industry in the history of mankind, which means there's a huge opportunity for everybody, regardless of their um, country, their background, and their language. Second thing is, and that is very important, the first dot-com boom was when most of the viewers who are watching it right now have missed the bandwagon. The second opportunity is just around the corner, and the world is standing at the crossroads of making a decision. AI, AI automation is at the early stages of making people more, wealthy. And if you catch the trend early, and most importantly, you catch the first wave of the trend, you're giving yourself a fair chance of solving problems of the businesses of your society and make money. I genuinely believe if we put our youth on AI automation, on agentic AI, on vibe coding, on a priority basis, there should be a word for academia where people who are spending and wasting time on TikTok and other social media platforms, if somehow we can convince them about the opportunities lying idle on AI spectrum, and if they sort of like get their hands on and start learning AI today, they could make huge money tomorrow. So tech is an equal opportunity provider, regardless of geographical boundaries. It's just that the West is better at providing an ecosystem. It's just that West is better equipped in, orchestrating the investments, which I'm about to get to in a moment. Rest is just the human minds, which is pretty much the same. It's about leveraging the opportunities and capitalizing on those opportunities. When it comes to investment, if we can invest in our people initially by training them about emerging and trending skills. You talk about AI, you talk about machine learning, you talk about cybersecurity, you talk about DevOps, you talk about even game development. Gaming industry is far bigger than Hollywood industry. I think if we can put our people on this track of emerging and trending skills, five to begin with, in the years ahead, we might just become one of the biggest service providers in the world for AI and AI enabled technologies. And that means once the products begin to surface up from this part of the world, from our soil, I guess we'll be able to attract huge investments for these products. It's all about learning before earning, but most importantly, creating partnerships, and then creating products, because the money is in product industry. I mean, the huge money lies in the product industry, not in the service industry. So you could train zillions of individuals and get them into gig economy, but they won't be able to, bring in the huge remittances in the country simply because they are individuals. They are, working in their silos. Whereas, if you encourage the idea of product development, pivoting around AI, God knows what kind of investment what kind of opportunities we may be able to seek in the long run. That's where I think Pakistan also stands at the crossroad with the rest of the world. And if we can pick a wise move and make a right decision, future is bright.
Excellent. That's great to hear. And what do you think about if you're a young person now, like 20 years old, what should you be doing? And if you're a midlife, I'm almost 50.
So am I.
So we're both 48
Yeah,
actually.
absolutely.
What should we be doing? Because have we missed the boat or you're learning it? Because that's what impressed me. I was like, if he can learn it, then I can do
Why
it
can't
too.
you?
So, but what would you say to these younger people, 20-year-olds? What skills are important? Is it communication you mentioned? You mentioned AI. What other things can they learn? Because what I see, the great thing about following you is that you get the motivation because all the courses are already online. NVIDIA teaches AI, Google will teach you AI, all these other places will teach you it. But I think someone like you inspires people to take that first step and start that journey.
The message is simple. I mean, if I go and converse with my younger self in early 20s, I would simply tell him, don't be too hard on yourself. Take it easy. Take a leap of faith. The trust part comes late. If you enjoy the process, if you have fun in whatever you do, uh, you sort of like increase your productivity. That's a fundamental rule of productivity. For you to be productive, you've got to enjoy the process. And for you to enjoy the process, you got to have fun at the workplace. Otherwise, it makes your day awfully long and nights awfully short. Don't go that route. That's the first thing. Don't be too hard on yourself. Everything begins to fall in place if you are committed. Like Denzel Washington says, without commitment, you cannot start. Without commitment, you cannot finish. That's how simple it is. But somehow we make uh, in the effort of making ends meet, we somehow forget the simplicity and the essence of simplicity, which is very important for you to move forward because you sort of like keep raising your productivity bars. That's the first thing. Second thing is what humans can do is extraordinary, but what humans typically do is disappointing. Humans are an amazing creature, and being a being a nerve center of the body. It's about how you train your nerve center to send out clear and a loud message to the rest of the body organs. It all starts here. So, like I said, you are as big as you challenge yourself. If you can tell yourself that nothing is impossible, if you can tell yourself that you can pull it off, if you can tell yourself that the future is all yours, if you can tell yourself that do not give up, and if you are at the verge of giving up, just think about why did you start at first place. So it's all about you telling your mind that you need to keep moving forward and do not stop, and everything else is just a process. It falls in place. The only advice I would give to my younger self is don't be hard on yourself, but do not stop. And embrace the technology. That's what the future is. Everybody else would have to embrace the technology sooner or later. We are beginning to find out amazing startup ideas with only CEOs and a lot of AI agents in the hierarchy. It is simply because never in the history of mankind AI has provided so many opportunities for automating the system. So before the machine takes over you, how about you skill pricing yourself to be to stay relevant? That's what the message is.
Excellent. And what do you think that we as a government, so I represent Pakistan Software Export Board, We work for the Ministry of IT and Telecoms, and maybe even government in general should do to help its citizens create more wealth, be more free, be happier, have a better quality of life? How can we, as Pakistan Software Export Board, help the industry as well?
So two parts again. Government, when we talk about government, the only way to get out of vicious circle of poverty, which we are in, we find ourselves sadly stuck in, is because we are not embracing the technology at the government level. So dare I say this, but once we automate our offices, once we inculcate the e-government in its true spirits, which means uh, getting rid of additional manpower, automating system, um, ensuring transparency, and making sure that the efforts are, being spread out in a right direction. That's the first thing, which by large generally, as we see and as we find that only if we can, uh, start moving in this direction, maybe we are able to see good results in the long run. Second thing is PSEB, Pakistan Software Export Board. Provincial governments, as well as federal governments, as well as private institutions, they're everybody's playing their fair bit in training youth, but nobody is paying heed to giving them an encouraging ecosystem where they can sort of like get an access to the marketplace and find leads and find opportunities. I think this is the major thing that's missing in this country. So if such opportunities are provided where we create an ecosystem, innovation is an ecosystem. It's not uh, different from so-called co-working spaces. Yet we are not a co-working space. We are an IT hub where we provide an enabling environment for the businesses as well as people belonging to gig economy to come under one roof, exchange ideas. We periodically conduct events. We talk about what's happening in the world. We create systems. I genuinely believe, Amir, God knows, but if I was not here, and then in a year's time, I might not have embraced artificial intelligence as a skill set like I've done. It's because of the enabling environment and the ecosystem, where every second individual you come across, and once you meet and greet, you find out that they are doing an amazing job in their businesses, and they are helping other businesses, getting automated, saving them time, eliminating human errors, and then it sort of like uh, ignites the spark within you to explore what this new technology is. And once you begin to get into the groove, you sort of like find a way out. Still, I haven't seen the exit door. Hope I do not see that soon. But as a humble student of technology, the governments and the semi autonomous government bodies, I think they need to focus on spreading the word about embracing technologies. That's what the future is. You can't have a prosperous country that lives, let's say, a decade uh, behind the developing countries,
Mhm.
or the developed countries for that matter. Sorry.
Excellent. So thank you so much for your time. Hisham Sarwar, you know now why he has millions of followers online in this Urdu channels. So if you speak it, or Hindi, you can learn a lot from him. Also, over 100,000 followers on his English content. That's also great. Really worth following. If you want to keep up with the trends of digital, he really simplifies how the technology works, how everything comes together, how you create wealth for yourself, how do you do startups, how do you launch, how do you create these ecosystems. He's CEO of Innovista, one of the biggest infrastructure, I would say, in Pakistan. If you guys can put on the B-roll some of your some of
Sure.
the showcasing, because it's really fascinating coming here. When I think when people imagine Pakistan, they don't imagine this. You know, if they're not here, they don't see an Innovista type of infrastructure. They see a donkey or a camel somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And when they come and visit and then they see
Seeing is
Innovista,
believing.
seeing is believing. And when they see Innovista and the team that you have built and the great work that's happening over here, they really fall in love with it and they see the opportunity. They start saying, how do I invest? How do I become a part of this action? So this is great. Thank you for all that you've done for the country. Thank you for you continue to inspire people, including myself. So I really thank you for that. And how can people connect with you and any final messages? You're
Sure.
always motivating people, so I'll let you have the final word. This has been Amir Anzur from Pakistan Software Export Board, where we run the Tech Destination podcast, but the final words will go to Mr. Hisham
To
Sarwar.
get in touch with me, go on Facebook, search Innovista. You'll find our page. That's on the screen right now. And on YouTube, that's our YouTube channel. Every message you send actually gets to me. Every single Monday morning, I go through tons of messages and I make sure that I handpick few who are very important, and then I respond to those letters that come in my inbox, and as well as an email sent to me. So you also have my email address popped up on the screen. Feel free to reach out. And if you are a Pakistani diaspora living outside Pakistan, Pakistan is your country. Please play your humble role in paying back to the community. We are on the mission of training 1 million Pakistani in the emerging and trending fields such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, cybersecurity, DevOps, game development, and of course, a lot of low hanging fruits. LearnEasy.pk, as you see on the screen, that's our flagship model for online training. We require your support, not just the moral support, but financial support as well, to keep it financially viable and to continue this effort in order to reach the 1 million. It's a CSR program of me in my personal capacity. That's what I would like to talk about. It's a CSR program where I really wish we spread technology awareness all across the country, all over Pakistan. And the only way to do that is internet. And if you support us in this cause, we could go a long way. Thank you very much.
Thank you from Tech Destination Pakistan. Thank you, Mr. Hisham Sarwar.
Thank you, sir.